It's Christmas Day, and I hope you're VIR or VIR Zoom Arcade game. It's in the free store, and it's a weird bundle. There's a VR noob. You should be able to find it, and it goes through. There's a bunch of them. I won't go into too many details because it's already on the video, but it's a multiple.
Lean left and right to navigate the menus and steer in the games.
Thank you. It's a multiple mini game, I guess. You can download it for free, as I mentioned. There's a lot of quirky, weird stuff, and as you can see, the graphics. If you've been around, if you were around in the early 2000s, you probably remember this kind of style in a lot of cheap demo games that were in magazines and stuff. They usually weren't very good games. They had few levels. You couldn't really buy them. They weren't the main productions. At least that's what I used to find in a lot of early computer magazines, like PC magazines and stuff. They'd often have a CD with a bundle of Oh, wait, guys, sorry, I didn't want to start this one. But they usually had a bundle of software, like some secondary word processing software, like not the real deal, or... Sorry,
Chase that bandit.
This isn't the game. This one's pretty cool too.
Pedal to ride forward.
But we're not going to play this. Yeah. Please let me get out. Okay.
Catch up to the bandit.
And however, one of these games, I thought I'd make a video of specifically a little bit of gameplay because I had quite a bit of fun playing it. And you can see the tank on my left there. It's a tank driving game. And this reminded me a lot of this one, Winter Stan. This one reminded me a lot of these old PC games with pretty crappy graphics at the time, and but they were very fun. They were very entertaining. It was always a surprise. You didn't know what to expect. In these CDs, you'd have a bunch of software that was usually useless, and sometimes there'd be a game or two, or at least a demo of a game that you could, especially considering I had pretty shitty, my computer wasn't really a gaming computer, it was like a family computer at the time, and didn't have great stats or anything, like, I often couldn't run the coolest games, and to be honest, I wasn't ever the kind of person to have the money or myself to spend, or even to want to spend it on expensive new release games, especially if I had to run them on the shittiest settings. So I'd often be content with just kind of playing around with these demos, and this game, or many of the games in this bundle, really remind me of, they kind of take me back to this older era of gaming. And I think this is maybe a cool thing of virtual reality. For now, there are only like 7 free-to-play games, and most of them are just demos and stuff. And I don't know what the developer situation is, like what limitations developers may or may not have, if it's easy to develop VR games, if it's free to do so. I'll have to check out, maybe look for some info on it. But I think this is a pretty cool thing that's going on, and like, I would like to see more games like this, to be honest. Maybe free to full game. If this had multiplayer, I'd be spending, I think, a lot of time on it. What I like about these is these games were, in a way, very bare necessity games. They were just kind of showcasing things that could be done. They didn't have, there wasn't really a storyline. They just, they were showing off some texture, some like 3D landscape creation, I guess. Some gameplay options and things, usually, and this is very similar. It's just translated into VR, so I think it's a good example it's very similar in that sense to what it was. It's just showing what you can do in a way. It's kind of a quick and cheap way to get a game out using a new technology or relatively new. And it doesn't worry so much about all the things people nowadays seem to require. So, okay, after this nostalgic intro, let me talk a little about the controls. Oh, missed. Oh, again, whoa. Got him. About the controls and the gameplay. This bundle of games in theory is designed to be used with like a cycling, like a, I don't know what you call it, like those gym bicycles that you spin on. And in theory, by leaning left and right while pedaling, you should be able to move. And while leaning left and right, you control movement. So using the controller is a bit of yeah, compromise solution. And okay, so controls for this game are, whoa, got me. So controls for this game are pretty basic. Left 2, the left L2 trigger is used to go ahead. The R2 trigger you use to go back. You use R1 for shooting. Okay, caught me. And as you can see, the stats are displayed up in front of me. There's a health counter, I'm at 66% now. There's a coins. Apparently coins you use, my guess is that these games are supposed to be used in gyms, or are probably going to be used in gyms, if they ever do get used, actually. Because I doubt any person will actually buy the whole bike just to play this game. And with coins you can then buy upgrades like special avatars, special things you can in theory use when you multiplay with other people trying to get fit and entertained at the same time. So the coins stat is really kind of useless. There's an ammo stat, and that's about all you get. I'm not sure what these oh fuck. Oh. I'm not sure what these red lights are all about. And on my tank, the crosshairs is relatively precise. Not extremely, though. And the reason why I say, and you can see the graphics are kind of choppy. You can see the shadow is, you can see it just was flying there for a moment. You can see the, oh, whoa, finished my ammo. Okay, that was not a smart move. I think I need to go there. You see where these columns of light are? Is usually, oh shit, where you can find stuff. I was killed, apparently. So, okay. So there goes my first game. And it gives you info on how much you pedaled, because in theory you would be pedaling, like using your bike. And this reminds me, I was mentioning in the other video when I did my like first run with this game, it reminds me kind of the old Delta Force games where you had just, you know, maps were just huge expanses of hills, just to kind of give a bit of the impression of, yeah, I got him. And texture was really basic, so you can see here there's basically a bit of rock interspersed with snow, or maybe the opposite. There's like some big chunks of rock. That's actually much better than Delta Force, if I remember correctly. And then there's just, you know, the random construction, some houses, some like abandoned, some kind of village structures, just to some broken up walls, just to make it a little more different. And at the time, I mean, I don't know how young you guys are or how old you are or if you remember about this, but at the time it was really just cool. I remember sometimes just the feeling, like having grown up playing like Sonic or Mario or, well, classic console games. I was never really into like Zelda or those more quote unquote open games. But when in Delta Force, I realized I didn't have to follow a set path, but I could just there we go. But I could just go wherever the hell I wanted. That kind of opened a bunch of new doors for me, a new world, because suddenly I was trying to outsmart the game in different ways. So instead of trying to accomplish the mission according to the directions, they'd give like, hey, you know, walk up this hill and kill a bunch of soldiers that you have to kill or something. I'd go for these infinite detours just because I could, just because the world was big enough that you could just say, okay, you know, I'll take a massive detour and try attacking on the opposite side. Let's see how that will work out. And no surprise, it rarely ever did work. Oh, come on. Gotcha. And but it was fun. It was fun because while playing, you could. What the fuck is that? Why is there a ghost? Okay. But it was fun because my health is really low. By the way, I think I need to reassess my. Yeah, and it was just a really fun. You could look for glitches in the game. It was more of a... I feel... Well, I already mentioned that yesterday, in yesterday's video, but I feel... In a way, these kind of flawed, imperfect, kind of broken games were maybe lots of times... What the fuck? Is that my ammo? Oh. Yeah, I need to find some ammo. Quick. Oh, okay, there. Quick. So as you can see, like the shadows. Check the shadow on the floor. It's all pixelated and shitty, and it's really not that good. And to be honest, playing this alone gets a little repetitive after not too long. So, but I can imagine this could be a really fun. Could be a really fun game to play like with a bunch of friends, especially friends that have been through the shit, who have played games like this, who have played like Delta Force, and yeah, that's the only one I can think of at the moment, or well, obviously Delta Force 2. But there was a bunch of these games. Like, they weren't really open world. Another game that it kind of reminds me of is Monster Truck Madness. Well, obviously there was no shooting there, but it was also like, you know, you had your race and stuff, but whoever raced in Monster Truck Madness, I didn't, even because I was only using a demo, so I had like 1 or 2 maps to use. And so, oh, okay. So what I do was just, you know, go check out how far I could get before I hit the end of the screen, how big of a jump I could do. If, you know, basically what people are doing now in open-ended, when you see all those really cool videos of people doing weird shit in open-world games, that was what we'd be doing with our games. So the world doesn't really change that much in the end. And yeah, you'd try going up steep hills, see if that made a difference. See if you could, I don't know, if you could find some glitches, if you could get stuck places. And I think that's something a lot of people still do, and I think it's fun because while gaming is fun and it's very important how well designers and developers are able to create an interesting and compelling game experience, I also think part of what brings people to gaming is also just the fact that people wanna wanna try out different stuff, and they wanna not be told what to do and how to do it, but you know, lots of people wanna just hack their way out of a system. I'm using hack in a very liberal and generous interpretation of the word. Virtual world to see what the fuck is going on and what you can do with it. You don't get into it to be told what to do and how to do it. So I think this is a big part of what people enjoy in games. And well, it definitely is for me, or was for me. I've never been a huge gamer, but I've never really considered myself a gamer at all. I'm just usually considered myself a person who enjoys. Oh, okay, back off. Ah, fuck. Wrong button. Okay. How's my ammo situation? Not good at all. Not good at fucking all. Situation behind me. It's pretty good. Well, no! Shit! Do I still have some ammo? Yeah, one. This is going to be a bit of an unpleasant... So, anyway, okay, no, this is not... Shit. Okay, yeah, that was in the making. What I was trying to do was to get up on that rocky cliff on the side, which is what I'm gonna do next. And I think... Destroy, thanks for high score, yes, thank you. Well, luckily enough, we're actually already near the hill, so that's pretty cool. Unless the hill was that one, I think. Yeah, I think that's where I wanted to go. So, well, this time I'll focus less on shooting and try to just get to the top of those cliffs, just to see what's up over there. And yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are, if you have any, and if anyone's even watching, but I think I've had my VR kit now for just a few days, and the feeling I get is that there's a lot of opportunity in a way. Ah, fuck. Okay, well, you basically get 3 hits and then you're out. The feeling I get is that this is the closest thing you can probably get, as close as you can probably get to, and there will be other moments, I'm sure. It's not like technology keeps improving and getting better and stuff, so there's always going to be something new on the horizon. But it's the closest thing you can get to, like, when the first guys bought like one of the first Ataris or something, and you know, the games were probably shit, but like they were so probably amusing and amazing. Let's see if we can climb up this rock. Like, this is the stuff, you know. No, we can't. Whoa, glitchy. I mean, we can, but it's weird. Let's try not to get shot. And perhaps pick up... Oh, I keep forgetting. I have to tilt him. Okay, there's someone. Someone's coming. And, Yeah. Oh, my health isn't good. Ammo's good though. Okay. Okay, got him. Let's see if I can pick up that health meter before they fuck me up. Okay, now we'll head for the next... Oh, fuck. Heading for the next hill now. And, yeah, sorry, I got distracted. But I think the cool thing is it's such a new and it's such a different thing from previous gaming. Like, you know, all new consoles, yeah, better graphics, there are always better improvements in fuck off in playability and interactions and, you know, all the things we got so used to, but they never really changed. Like, they changed, yeah, I mean, they changed for sure. Let's see if we can get up this hill. And I think this is really a big change in the oh, okay. Yeah, it's going. So in the way games work, I think this is closer to either the first, like, console, the first video game, call it revolution, or maybe the first PC gaming revolution, when you finally started having, you know, these games available with better not console games, stuff that was cooler, more. You kind of felt like you could explore shit, like it was a world you could get into. And you know what we're gonna do now? Let's see. Whoa! 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 Okay. So let's grab. Let's grab that. I wanted to see. Okay, they keep respawning here, I guess. So better make it quick. But I wanted to see what happens if we jump off the cliff. That's one of the things I used to always do, at least. So let's try finding a cool cliff we can jump off of. Actually, let's see if we can climb this cliff. Let's see what happens if I go. Yeah, well, apparently with some effort and some tilting. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Okay, ready? Off we go. Woohoo! Well, it's not really a fall, right? It's kind of, but yeah, but it is weird, pretty fun in a way, and definitely entertaining as an attempt. Oh, okay, I was killed again. So this would probably be a much better game if you could play with someone. Let's see if play again. Yeah, why not? But I've been hanging around the center of this map for a long time now. I wanted also to show you the outskirts, because games have become more and more smart about hiding their boundaries, designing a map at some point, but like, and older games weren't as savvy in these terms, so older games oftentimes just put a wall, like a wall. There was just a, like, if I remember correctly, like Monster Truck Madness had just, or maybe it was motocross. It was some I don't remember, and I think it was Monster Truck Madness had basically just like you'd reach a huge cliff, and that was it. Like, that was the end of the game. Some other games, you just fall off of the screen. Some other games would make you restart when you went out of bounds too much. Maybe that was Monster Truck. I don't know. There was so many variations of these quote unquote open world games. So let's see what. First, let's take care of some enemies, and then let's see what's going on at the outskirts of the Empire. And oh, okay, got him. Well, I know what happens because yesterday I already tested the game, so this is a bit of a rhetorical. Oh. But yeah, you can see the game just kind of ends over here. You can see that the map is over. Like, there's no more rendering of the ground. There's this last hill. There's this little bit of a plainy area, and then let's see how close we can get to the. I'm sure this is a game flat earthers would really enjoy. You can get really close to the edge of the world and just cruise along it, which is what I think we're going to do. And then we're gonna just jump off, because why not? I'm sure this is not a situation that's going to last forever. I get the feeling this kind of... And I mean, VR has been around now for what, like, about a year? Like, as a mass available product, so... It's already, you know, slowly... I read yesterday that the PSVR absolutely outsold its expectations, if that's the correct way to say it. But I think they sold like over 1 million kits in the first year of production, which is apparently much more than they were expecting to sell. So it is going to become big, I think, and with it becoming big, there's going to be a bigger budget. Well, prices are going to drop. Bigger franchises are going to get into it. Like, the fact that Skyrim is already available is a pretty big step, I think. It's, I think, single-handedly the main reason I decided to actually take the plunge and buy a kit for myself. I was really interested in it for a long time, but I never really found, like, yeah, just to play some arcade game, I didn't see the appeal in it. And but Skyrim kind of tipped the balance point for me. And I think the more and more it develops and the bigger games and the bigger franchises get on board and the games will become more polished, and we're gonna go towards what we now see in general gaming, like games with more of a purpose, more of a storyline. What the fuck is that huge cliff down there? That's pretty interesting. Why did they put okay. And I think the more we go in that direction, depending on what your gaming style is and what it is you really want and enjoy from your gaming experience, I think there are going to be reasons to be happy that's happening and reasons to be a little less than happy. The main reason to be happy will probably be that games will become much better and cooler and more fun and more playable. They'll solve a bunch of glitches and this and that, and you'll be able to have those awesome experiences like, you know, successful franchises and stuff like the Assassin's Creed one and there's, you know, stuff people enjoy, like games where maybe the gaming experience is more polished than the actual fun value. Let's go up this hill. And that's definitely a cool thing. Like, I'm not against it, but I also think this is going to be slowly lost. Like this, we'll probably get more corporate, and you won't be seeing this shit. Like, you won't be seeing just a tank driving up a poorly designed texture with its gun just plowing into the ground with weird cotton ball snowflakes falling, and yeah. So, and I think that's kind of a pity, to be honest, because I think there's something nice about this imperfect. Whoa, there's an enemy right above this hill. So this is not going to go well, I think, unless he pops his head out first. Two enemies. I might be in a bit of a predicament. And the sun is glaring in my face. Whoa, whoa. Okay, got one of them. And got two of them, yes. Now, hopefully... So why on earth would they put such a huge hill over here? Shit. Okay, I died. Fuck. But I don't really get why they... Oh, well. Yeah, guys, we'll jump off of the edge soon, so don't worry about that. But actually, let's do that right away. Let's move to the far end. And yeah, so, you know, depending on what on what you like about gaming, I think it might be a good moment to hop on this bandwagon in a way, because it's not going to last forever like this. It's not going to be imperfect and quirky, and the time will soon come when people will be, when there's going to be like a angry video game VR nerd talking about how in 2017 we had this weird game and it was unplayable, and what the fuck was up with this? There's no storyline, there's no this, there's no that. But, you know, it had this kind of something special about it, and it had personality, and nowadays blah 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 blah, and all the usual things. Old nostalgic farts end up saying. And don't get me wrong, I can often be one of them, so it's not, I have nothing against them. But yeah, I don't know, sometimes you need to, sometimes it's fun to kind of be surfing the wave when the wave is there, rather than be talking about it 20 years later through second-hand experience. And I have to say, if this game had a, I mean, it does have a multiplayer, because I think the whole this whole suite of games is designed, but I don't think there's a multiplayer. I don't think like we can play it. Like, I don't think someone else could log into my game now and just play with me, which is kind of a pity. I think it would be definitely a fun little way to spend half an hour or something on a boring day. But I think oh man. Oh, come on. Come on! How many fucking bullets did I waste there? Whoa. And there he goes. I think these tanks actually respawn. So, I mean, as you can see, there's no real, nothing really going on. So I won't be here for hours. Let's just hop off. Let's catch another tank. And then hop off the edge. And I'll show you some funny little glitch. Yeah, let's just go straight ahead until we fall. I don't know, I think this is really cool. I enjoy it. For limited amounts of time, of course. It's not. This is not the kind of game you show off to your friends to justify why you spent your money on a PSVR. And here we go. Off we go. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Oh. And there we are. This is the closest thing. I can still control my tank, like I'm spinning, so I can turn around to show you. People are still shooting at me, apparently. And this is the closest thing I can think of to the experience in these early 2000 games I was mentioning. Just, you know, glitchy, you'd fall off the side of the game, and yeah, and there you were, off the game. Like, I think Angry Video Game Nerd has a few reviews of really bad games in that sense. Like, there's the one where you're driving, I think, a truck. It kind of reminds me of Monster Truck Madness a little. And you drive through hills. There's no, like, you just see the flaws in the game. But that also makes it so weird. And, oh, and that's the game where, yeah, I think he goes, like, if you drive in reverse, it picks up like light speed or something, and then suddenly just ends up out of the map. And this is kind of a similar thing. Like, suddenly, for some reason, snow is flowing upwards, or maybe it's flowing downwards, but we're just falling much faster than the snow is falling. That would be even weirder. You can only see the rocks, and that gives you kind of an idea of how big the map is. And you're just going down and down and down and down. I doubt you can see it because I checked on my YouTube video yesterday and you can't see the nuances in color. I can see, but there's like some gradients going on. So that's also weird because you're not sure if, like, there's definitely, I hope, I don't know if it's possible to see, but like here there's an L-shaped something. Here there's another straight. I mean, there's, you know, it's weird. It kind of fucks with your head because you get the feeling that there is something there and that you might be falling towards something, but then it never gets any closer. And then if you turn around, like, there's nothing. Over here it's just like there's the sun and just a weird gradient. And yeah, that's just the way it is. Older games were like this, oftentimes. And okay, but I think I've spoken enough, and I'm not going to be here falling for the rest of the day. So I'm going to be checking out this game, and thanks for watching, if you watched, and I hope you'll check in for some other videos. I still have to figure out how all this broadcasting thing goes, if you need to, like, schedule your stuff, if you just... So we'll see. For now I'm having good fun though, and broadcasting gives me a reason to talk while I play, so at least, yeah, so my neighbors don't hear total silence, and yeah, So have a great day, everyone, and I might be broadcasting something else over the evening. I'm not sure. We'll see. Well, enjoy your day, and check this game out if you have the chance. If you have the PSVR, it's a free download. It won't hurt to play half an hour of this. So have a great time. Bye.